Okay, one large black coffee. That's $3.16, please.
Sure. Here you go.
Oh, exact change. Wow.
You know, they say this place has the best apple strudel this far east. Never had it?
No, I haven't. But, thanks for the recommendation.
Would you like a receipt?
No thanks.
Alright, you have a nice day.
You really should try one. That black coffee?
Always. This place does it right. You're in my backyard now, Doctor, so, what needs doing?
Let's walk, old friend. New situations come up in Bedford. That's why I'm in your backyard.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, I know. But we're already stretched thin. Not surprised you didn't know.
So, what is it?
You're familiar with Tarrant, right?
Yeah, the news guy. So, we need, T-cell for this?
No. SL. We're stretched thin, remember?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, go on.
Company doing illegal business in the woods. Some strange movement of money were found that brushed up against one of our shell companies, one that I monitor. And that's why you didn't hear about it.
Yeah, numbers have never really been my area. Keep an eye on C-Cell's his own job.
I know. It's not ideal right now. But, shit.
Whoa, easy.
I'm good. Sometimes I get a flare-up every now and then, and I don't think it healed right after the shooting.
You trusted too quickly. You let her get too close.
I know, damn it, I know.
I'll contact Simpson. Let him know they're dealing with Tarrant and the contact protocol is in effect. I appreciate you bringing this to me.
It's your backyard. It's only right. To tell you the truth, Donald, I don't know if we're going to win against Majestic. Not without something extreme happening. Hell, I'm giving myself another year before Lepus and his goons make a serious move against us. They are getting bolder.
I know you got your contingencies in place. So, who's going to hold the bag when that time comes?
I was hoping you would, old friend.
Hello and welcome to one of our little side operations. With me today are Caius, Jan, Mike, and as a special guest we have Caleb Stokes here with us. Max is sitting this game out, but he'll be handling production as always. So, Caleb, would you like to introduce yourself and plug what you have going on right now?
Hi, I'm Caleb Stokes. I am a writer for Delta Green and the author of God's Teeth, and I also have my own game company called Heaven Games, and I made the game Red Markets, if you may have heard of that, which currently has a second edition out. So I just wanted to say thanks to everybody for having me on, and I'm excited to get to play Delta Green for once instead of inflicting it upon people. It will be a nice change of place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, it's great to have you here. Honestly, we didn't even know if this would work, but we shot our shot anyways, and now you're here. So let's...
Yeah, behind the scenes, everyone is like super pumped the whole day.
Well, you managed to navigate my moat of assistants and, very, very highly paid, professional bodyguards. The other thing you get by being a freelance RPG writer, the power gets to your head. So sometimes I have to go walk amongst the people. Yeah, no. Happy to be on it and play a game.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, today we're playing a shotgun scenario written by me, which is called Let Me Grow, Let Me Die, or as we call it, Operation Green Mind. So I've written up a little thing here. It is a Tuesday, April 4th, the year's 2000. A new Windows OS has launched in February. Bill Clinton was in his last year in office, and the unemployment rate at that time was at its lowest since December 1969. Year 2K was a bust. It is during this new millennium we find our agents standing under a giant coffee pot-shaped building outside of Bedford, Pennsylvania, in the rain. And as the rain splatters and drops around you, you're just huddling under this little front porch thingy of this actual giant statue that they have going on around or outside of Bedford. And I will take this opportunity to go around the table and get you guys to introduce your agent today. So, Agent STRATUM.
Yeah, Agent STRATUM, or Tatu Salo, as his family knows him, is a slim man, average height. He's got light brown hair and gentle waves about to his chin. He's wearing a lightweight cardigan, some khakis, and he's got a bit of a rucksack on his back. He has a thin, friendly smile, and freckles that you can see just everywhere on his body.
Wonderful. Let's see, Agent Simpson, what do you look like?
To be honest, I didn't come up with a description yet.
Alright, don't worry about it.
Most average man alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Simpson's my best agent. Who? Exactly.
Yeah.
that guy, like, that guy there, like, do you not see?
Exactly what you want. He blends right in. So, Agent Simpson, he is 51 years old. He is a hospital corpsman. He is of average height, gray hair and beard. He has a receding hairline that goes about midway down his scalp. He has smile lines on his face, crow's feet, dark circles under his eyes, bushy eyebrows, and a very pleasant smile when he decides to show it. Today, not so much.
Makes sense. Absolute shit weather. You're out here in the middle of fucking nowhere, bumfuck Pennsylvania. You're standing under the replica of a giant coffee pot, and you don't even know why yet.
He definitely wants some coffee. That's all that's on his mind right now.
Yeah, this makes it even worse, because it is closed. There's nothing there. It once may have served coffee to weary travelers, but nope, not anymore. That shit's closed. Agent Sylvan, what does she look like?
Yeah, so Agent Sylvan is a tall, athletically built woman in her early 40s. Deeply tanned skin, shoulder-length brown hair pulled back in a tight bun. Currently wearing some old, well-worn cargo pants, some short boots, and a Yellowstone National Park hoodie, and a duffel bag slung over her shoulder.
Alright, wonderful. The last in this wonderful round of jolly people, Agent Sly.
So Sylvester Mayer, FBI, is 42. He went bald in his early 30s and has been shaving his head ever since, and that it is his greatest vanity and affectation, as seen by his large, unkempt, obvious cop mustache and hunched posture and general skeezy vibes. He does not look like a trustworthy dude, and he knows that and tries to play it to his advantage. He shows up with a outdoor backpack full of, his cold weather gear and other things he's brought along to a night at the opera, but he had to come directly from work, so he's wearing a ruffled JCPenney suit and a backpack that looks like he's trying to summit Everest, which he lays down heavily next to the giant coffee pot building.
So, before we get into the briefing, who of you would like to be the cell leader? Because we do actually need to get one.
Not STRATUM, I didn't mention this, but he is 32, so he's the youngest and the least experienced out of the group. So, not I.
Well, see, that's perfect leader material. You're unbroken. Let them
I mean, if you all want to, we could also just appoint Agent Simpson as the oldest.
That's fine too. I'll do it. I know how Delta Green works, but it feels weird to kick in the door of the podcast and be like, "I'm taking command." Yeah, like that. That's odd. So I don't want to do that if I can avoid it.
Yeah, that's fair. No, don't worry about it. All right, let's say
No,
Agent.
it's simple. Just give it to the man who's seen the most.
Yeah,
Wait,
there
a
we go.
bit too much.
So, standing in front of all of you is a also middle-aged man. He has like salt and pepper hair, a really unkempt haircut that he's just currently combing out, slicking his hair back with a lot of gel. And he also has a neat beard, neatly trimmed beard. He is wearing a rain jacket with the logo of a little TV station, a little local TV station on it. And he is known to all of you as Agent Tarrant from T-Cell. Yeah, he looks at a little merry band of agents and says, "It's certainly not a pleasure to meet you all here, but let me make this quick so we can move on and get this cleared as fast as we all can. ACL has contacted me to help you all with a little bit of a cover-up. We have a situation here in Bedford, south of the town, in a little bit of the mountainous areas, an illegal logging operation called Clear Sky Forestry has started cutting down trees belonging to the protected Appalachians. A few days ago, we're not sure how long it actually was, a few of their workers, 3 in total, went missing. One of them turned up, a hiker, found one just yesterday morning. The body that was found was still alive physically, but he seemed to be fused with a tree itself. He is unable to speak, but has been identified. The area is currently cordoned off, and the man is, well, still in the fucking tree. He just shrugs and shakes his head. No, I don't know how the fuck. But I'm not here to know. I'm just here to help you contain the spread of information and spread as much misinformation as I can get. What you all are here for is looking for the source. Who made these men disappear, and if there is an unnatural connection, well, you know what to do. Get that out of the way. Are there any questions?
Well, Sly has a question. Yeah, for certain. So he's desperately fishing for his nicotine gum out of his enormous backpack. And so what's the priority here? Like, people don't talk to trees is number one priority, or we find out why people are trees? You only do one job at a time.
Yeah, the latter. You try to find out why people are trees, and where the other two have gone off to. And I'm the one who tries to keep everyone around in check.
All right, cool. We'll see if there's something unnatural involved. Yeah.
Well, in my experience, people normally don't get fused into trees. And speaking of, when you say this man is fused into a tree, what the hell do you mean by that? Is like, how much of him is left? Is it a face, his head, his whole torso? What's going on here?
Well, I haven't seen the body myself yet, but I've at least heard that you can only see parts of his face and an eye.
Do you have the hikers' names?
Yes, it is and he ruffles through his notes. It is where the fuck is it? And he just goes through more notes, and you see he has quite a lot of them. Martha Lang.
Martha Lang, got it. And are there first responders on the scene now, or will we have it to ourselves?
Well, currently, the scene's curtained off, but one police officer is involved in all of this. He's involved in keeping everyone out who doesn't belong on a crime scene.
I assume we're supposed to talk to him about what he has maybe seen there since Martha made the report?
Yeah, that would certainly help. I think they also have the full report of what they got out of Martha, so try to also get that, if possible.
So, does it look like this guy got sucked up by a tree, or did it grow out of him?
That's a good fucking question for I don't have the answer of. He just stares at you. as I said, haven't seen it. What I can...
I've seen trees suck up things, but that's that ain't right.
Yeah, it isn't. However, the tree at least is stationary as far as I know. I hope we don't deal with living trees or some shit.
Okay, Sly just starts laughing.
You said he'd been identified. Do you have his name, or will we find that at the scene?
Yes, I'm sorry. The man is called Cristo Olivares. He is a guest worker with a legal visa to work in the United States, but he originally is from Mexico.
I understand why I'm on this mission, then.
He just nods. As far as I know, all of the workers for the foresting company are originally from Mexico. The owner's name, if you want to look into that a bit more, is a Victor Smith.
Well, I'm sure it's just a very early Halloween costume. We'll get this sorted out.
It'd be quite wonderful. Get this all sorted out in a very short amount of time, and then we're out of here.
Lukas, you said Cristo Olivares?
Olivares. He also gives you the directions to get at the scene itself, and because it's a bit tucked away into the mountains, he just describes what roads you'll have to take. And yeah.
Agent STRATUM is very meticulous about writing down all of these notes.
Mm-hmm.
Has like a ton of little pencils kind of jammed everywhere. You see like his backpack has like got little side pockets. He's got little number 2 sticking out. He's got one behind each ear. He's constantly chewing on one. He's very equipped with number 2 pencils.
All right. He then looks at all of you again and says, while getting some lanyards out of his pocket, we could get all of you involved in all of this as official FBI contractors. As far as I know, the local PD is very much not pleased about this, but seeing as they've let a illegal logging company run amok in their backyard, I think I can try to get them to shut their mouth about all of this, and he hands out the lanyards.
Where is this tree located? Is it like a national forest? Is it a...
It is not a national forest. It's just in south of the town, in one of the mountainous wooded areas.
But is it still in the protected area? That is,
yes.
The loggers are not supposed to be in? Okay, well,
yep.
That's our in.
How many people have seen this man tree?
Well, if we can trust what I've heard of the police so far, it's just the hiker, Mafar, and one of the other workers who identified Cristo, and 2 police officers.
Well, make sure you get him tucked away with some nice psychiatric evals.
I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, if you happen to get anything during your investigation, during your part in all of this, that could help me spread a bit more misinformation or blackmail someone, let me know.
Sure.
Well, I need a chainsaw. Off to the hardware store. Everyone come?
I'll come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I go to my rented Jeep.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll look to Agent STRATUM just because I'd imagine I'd probably clock us both being a bunch of tree lovers in the National Park Service.
Yeah, his backpack, he's got like little patches from different archaeological sites.
STRATUM, how about you and I start doing some preliminary searching at the scene?
Sure.
We can wait for Sly and Simpson to come back with tools.
Yeah, that sounds good. I've got some tools in my car anyway I could use.
Excellent. All right, let's go.
Okay. Before you all leave the scene, you exchange numbers with Agent Tarrant.
Our handy-dandy flip phone numbers.
Yep.
I have a BlackBerry.
Yeah, the thing is, I would love to say it's like a really old burner phone, but yeah, that shit's like, if it's really old, it's like 4, 5, 6 years old at that point, so...
They're all burner phones at this point.
Exactly.
Also, I'm 42, and I have to text QWERTY, so nobody text me. I don't know how to do that shit. I'm gonna make phone calls. I absolutely have not learned how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be too easy.
Yeah, I literally just want a chainsaw rental and maybe a couple gallons of gasoline, because I don't think the man tree should remain a Bedford, PA tourist attraction for very long.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
once
absolutely fair.
once I get that, I'm fine to head to the site. Yeah, so I'm not looking to.
Yeah, we don't
probably,
have to play this out.
Rent a wood chipper too.
Well, that's what the gasoline's for. It's like a mobile wood chipper without the wheels.
That's true.
Carry it with you. Yeah.
Hell yeah, wonderful. All right, yeah. Well, you two go and do your little grocery shopping for some wonderful tools. Let's see what Stratum and Sylvan are up to. The drive that the others will take, just probably 10-15 minutes after you, leads you through dense and dark forests. It is still raining, and you even get the feeling that it's been going stronger since you left the big coffee pot. The roads itself are mud roads. Some of them are somewhat okay. The others are really only drivable or good to navigate through if you have a jeep or something that can drive in this kind of environment. And you take I think it's like almost a 25-minute drive through these backwoods. There are a lot of really sharp turns where you need to get up the serpentines to get higher. And after those 25 minutes, you end up at the described location. It is very much unremarkable. It's just a dirt path that's been completely mudded up now from all of this rain. To the left side there is a police vehicle that's also good for this kind of environment. And to the right side there is just a little bit of police tape between two trees. You can't see shit behind it, but Agent Terran would have told you that the scene is a little bit into the forest itself.
Yeah, we'll park kind of close to that police vehicle, and Stratum will go grab his backpack out of the back seat and a secondary, like a small duffel bag as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll sort of look around hesitantly.
So, yeah, while looking around, you see the police tape and you see that there's a little footpath. You see boot prints deep into the mudded up area. So that's probably where the police officer should be. At least you don't see them currently.
We also got directions where, like, from the tape into the forest, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's easy. You can just follow these mudded boot paths. That shouldn't be a problem. While entering the forest, how high would both of your powers go?
Ooh, that's a great
Just
question.
out of curiosity.
Always a good question.
16 or 80%.
I'm at 65%.
Alright, so Agent Sylvan, you don't notice this, but Agent Stratum, the moment you walk more than just like 2 or 3 feet deep into the forest itself, you get a really bad feeling. It is this feeling of your body reacting as if something is watching you, like the hair and the skin like go up, and you're on high alert all of a sudden. You don't even know why. You still just hear the rain around you. You hear the slurp of the boot prints, and you don't know why, but you're on high alert all of a sudden.
He'll reach into his duffel bag and pull out an industrial flashlight and click it on, shine it up, actually, just to see if there's anything that they're not catching above them.
Give me a search roll.
I noticed that my fellow agent has suddenly become very concerned.
That's a success at a 28 under 40.
Wonderful. So as you shine your flashlight through all of this, you don't necessarily see anything that would give you a feeling of, okay, I know why I'm reacting like this. But you do see movement up in front of you now that you shine your light, and you notice that there is a police officer coming into your direction, which you haven't spotted before.
Waves. Holds up his FBI credentials with the hand of the flashlight.
I'll do likewise.
Yeah, they also like put their hand up and just shout in your direction the moment they see you, like, hey, this is a crime scene, you can't, and then you put up your credentials and they just nod. Alright, you're here to see doesn't say anything, just points behind him. Okay, yeah, sure, follow me. For Stratum, the feeling doesn't go away, but it lessens. As the hair on your neck just like doesn't stand up perfectly, it just goes down a little bit. Yeah, there are still goosebumps on your skin.
And it lessens when we're speaking, or it lessens as we go further in?
As you think, like, oh yeah, that was just, okay, the police officer, I didn't see him, maybe I just like heard him.
He just explains it away, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, you step further into it, and while stepping further into it, you get the feeling of, alright, maybe it wasn't just because I haven't seen the police officer yet. You get this like uncomfortable feeling, the same sensation like when you were a child and you trespass into the creepy neighbor's garden to pick up a ball that you've kicked there.
Yeah.
Like that exact feeling. But as I said, it lessens as you get deeper.
He'll whisper to Sylvan, I have a feeling that the forest maybe doesn't want us to be here.
What? What do you mean by that?
He shrugs. Just feels wrong.
All right, just look. Keep your head on straight and keep your eyes forward. You look out for each other here, okay?
You then approach a little clearing. There are some brushes that have been visibly hacked away to make a little bit of space. Around a single tree, there is a little bit of almost like a tent built around it without a photo roof. And the police officer just points to it and says, we've put this up. The eye follows you if you... Yeah, it's not cool to just stand here and be looked at all the time. You do your thing, I'm just gonna step away real quick. Yeah, you get the feeling that he's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I picked up on that. He does not seem happy to be here.
Wonderful. So, yeah, now you two are standing in front of this little tent thingy. What do you do?
Well, Sylvan, I speak Spanish. Do you?
Likewise.
Okay, then I say we go in with that.
What I'll do is from my duffel bag, I will pull out my field notebook and pen. They said they can't speak, although, he might still be able to hear. And then my idea is that even if he can't speak, to write questions to him and just ask him to blink, blink once for yes, blink twice for no.
Yeah, Terrence said that he was shrugging and shaking his head, so hopefully he can hear us, but that's a good idea as well.
First of all, as you push away the curtain and take a look at all of this, give me a sand roll.
All right.
Are we not accustomed to this?
Absolutely not.
A tree man? Come on. It's just a guy in a tree.
Narnia.
Let's see. Success, 10 under 65 for Agent Sylvan.
It's a success at a 2 under 80 for STRATUM.
Wonderful. You both still lose 1 sanity from the unnatural.
Understood.
That's fair.
Look into a very old tree that is like twisting its way towards the sky. Like from your perspective, you know that those trees have been standing here for almost hundreds, if not more than hundreds of years, which is why they're protected. However, some of the bark has been stripped away. It shows a single eye and some of the skin around it. The bark overlays most of the rest of the face, but you can see the weathered skin, and you see instantly as you push the curtain to the side, the eye swoops and stares directly at the two of you. It looks like it's ripped open, like in sheer terror.
Hola, Cristo. How are you doing?
The eye just moves rapidly between the two of you and blinks a few times.
I'll ask, are you in pain? Blink once for yes, blink twice for no.
It blinks once.
Well, shit. Okay.
Bummer.
Yikes. Sorry, guys. Oh, wow. I will... Do you remember how this happened to you? Blink once for yes, blink twice for no.
He blinks once. And after 1 or 2 seconds, maybe a little bit of consideration, he blinks twice.
Okay. I nod, and I'll start using my notebook to first take notes, and if it comes down to it, I can use to, pose questions, but in the meantime, just jotting all this down as quick as I can.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened to the 2 other workers?
Blinks twice again.
Do you last remember, were you cutting down any trees?
Blinks once.
Were they near or far from here? Blink once from near, twice from far.
Twice.
Far. Okay. Yeah, I'll say in English this time. I honestly don't know what we do from here.
Does he know where here is? because then you could orient.
Thank you.
Like, were you north of here? Blink once. Were you west of here? Blink once. Yeah.
The voice of Agent Sly in my head tells me. I will pose were you north or south? Once for north, twice for south. And if he just stares at me, then just don't blink if it's neither.
Yeah, he blinks once. He hesitates a bit before it. You see that, but he then blinks once.
Was it within a mile?
There's a long pause, and you expect something to happen, but he doesn't blink. The eye just moves left to right a few times.
You don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is also a good opportunity. Bit of time has passed, and we cut to Agent Sly and Agent Simpson, as you also follow the same road that STRATUM and Sylvan have taken through all the mudded up paths, until you arrive at the side of the road where there's the car you know belongs to Agent STRATUM. There is a police cruiser, not a cruiser, but a police jeep. And there's also a police officer standing there, smoking, looking very unsettled.
Simpson, can you get the chainsaw? I gotta change.
Will do. And just popped it out of the trunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna call the cop over while I'm taking off my tie and unbuttoning my shirt and digging around my backpack.
Yeah, he sees that, he joins still smoking, and he just nods and says, "Oh, hey, you with the other two?"
Yeah, man, don't get too close with that. I'm gonna ask you to bum one. You're in control of the scene?
Yeah, I am, he says as he gets the box of cigarettes out and hands you one over.
So you came out after talking to Martha Lang?
Yeah, I talked to her, took the first shift yesterday, and then I'm back here today.
And you got that worker out here to ID this fella?
Yeah, it was pretty hard. They only speak Spanish, and I've had to use what little I know of, but it worked.
Oh, well, the doctors are fluent, so we got that covered. Yeah, I'm taking my pants off while simultaneously trying to assemble a Remington 700 out of a bag. Put on boots and stuff. Just really having an open conversation, in his boxers to this cop. And he's yeah, well, if you could give my partner here your name and the name of anybody else who was helping controlling the scene, any contact information you got from Martha Lang, and we'll need to name and address of that worker you talked to. But otherwise, great job, officer. Thank you. You can go home.
Yeah, he seems a little bit overwhelmed. Okay, let's. I'm Dean Hooper. And he also gives you his badge number. Yeah, Martha. She lives down in Bedford. Gives you the address and writes down, scribbles down a phone number. All the while he nervously looks up, but continues writing.
I'm coming over with the chainsaw and the gas.
It doesn't help him, but he.
Hey there, pal.
Hey. I'm not gonna question if you probably know what you're doing.
I heard you got a tree problem over there.
Yeah, that's. You
we have to move in
that.
a lot of heavy forensic equipment. You understand? We might need to clear a trail.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, those FBI vans, they're heavy. Well, thank you very much. I'm in my gear now with my, deer rifle slung over my back. You did a great job. You go and get some rest. We'll be in contact soon. And of course, you understand this is an ongoing investigation, so we can't be talking about this to your family or any of your buddies down at the bar.
Yeah, if anyone in town says anything about a talking tree, they're fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
You can nod your head to that one.
It's not talking, but
I'll let Simpson just take one shoulder of this guy as I get on the other, as we just direct him directly towards the car. Thanks for coming out. You did a great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do everything short of pat him on the ass.
Didn't you want to? And you push him into his car.
Hell yeah.
He's a bit befuddled by all of this, but he does leave you the note before he drives off. He also noted the worker, which is called Danilo Casado. he didn't give you an address. Instead, he said they live at the quote-unquote base camp and gave you the directions to get there.
Okay. All right, yeah, we hiked to go to the Hell Tree.
Yeah, wonderful. So, how high would all of your POW be? No, it's really low for Simpson.
I'm at 15 and 75, so...
Ooh, okay, so same feeling for Sly. You get into the forest, and just like after a few feet of going in there, the hair on your neck stands up, and you just get the shivers. They travel down your spine, and you also just get the feeling of being little again, and like having just stolen some gummy bears from the holy family shrine of sweets that's been tucked away in the living room, and you know they found out. Like that's the feeling you get when you walk in there. It's just this anticipation of shit is gonna go down, but you don't know where it comes from.
I load my 308 as we walk down the trail. Just start racking in rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you the feeling of safety, like one shell after another.
Got my whoopee. I'll
It's
be
a
fine.
wonderful confidence boost.
It'll definitely fight a hypergeometric creature.
Nobody survives a shotgun blast straight to the face. Unless they do, then we're in the big shit.
Oh, it's a scoped deer rifle. I hope I don't get close enough for a shotgun. I'd consider that a failure state. But I guess we're just hurrying there as fast as we can before we lose the light.
Yeah, it is currently in the middle of the day, but since it's been raining, there's not too much light left. But you also arrive at the scene to see your fellow agents standing in front of the tree. Currently, they're covering what actually is going on there, but once you step a bit closer, you too can also give me sanity rolls.
Oof, that's a failure. 64 over 44.
I make it. 62 under 70.
Wonderful. Okay, so Agent Sly, you lose 1 sanity. Agent Simpson, that is a 1d4.
That is a 2. I don't want to project this. Nah, I'll eat it.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, you two also do see the eye now staring between all 4 of you. Just like you see it twitches and changes to look at all of you as fast as it can sometimes, but it also blinks a lot because obviously it's quite a strain.
Well, hi, Mr. Christo. It sure is a relief to see you. I cracked myself up. What information you got out of this guy so far?
Well, he can hear us, so that's one thing. But other than that, we know that he has sensation still. He can't quite recall what happened to him, or the others for that matter. All that he knows is that he was cutting trees to the north of here, a good distance away.
How have you been getting information out of him so far?
Asking questions and having him blink to answer.
Alright. Did you try using Morse code? And then I rev up the chainsaw.
The eye now like twitches really nervously.
Boss, you
I
mind
don't-
holding off for a second? Maybe we ask some questions.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I put on like gloves and stuff. How much of it is exposed out of the tree?
Out of the tree, there is literally just the eye and a little bit of skin around it. You can see just the start of the nose and a little bit of the bridge above, but that's about it. The rest is completely covered with tree bark.
Can you all translate for me?
Yeah.
Is he already doing yes, no?
Mm-hmm.
You okay? Do you need eye drops or something? Is there anything we do to make you more comfortable?
He blinks twice and then he blinks once and once again.
Okay, there's something we can do to make you more comfortable. All right, we'll get to that. Does he know where he's at? I get out a road map from my backpack. I mark where we're at, and I go, "You're here. Where were you when this started?" And then I move my finger, and I'm like, blink when I get to it. And I'm like, do we know a direction?
North.
And so then I just start moving north with my finger. And I'm like, blink when I get close, yeah.
With that, he gives you a general area. Basically, you'd say maybe 1.5 miles to the north. Not completely straight, a little bit northwest, just like a slight shift to the west there at the end. But you have a general direction. However, you don't really see any roads close to it. Maybe there's like some older roads not on the map.
So we have a rough area of where he, quote-unquote, disappeared. Okay.
Cristo, are you sinking further into the tree as time goes on?
He's hesitant, but really slowly blinks once.
Okay, I figured, because they were saying he was shrugging earlier, and he clearly can't do that now.
Oh, ask him if the tree swallowed him or if it grew out from inside of him or underneath him. Can you do that? And yes or no?
Well, does he know how he got here? Yes or no would be a good start.
Well, we already know that he doesn't know how he got here, although...
He kind of knows, yeah.
Yeah, even with his disorientation, it still might be worthwhile to see if he does have some idea of what happened to him.
Cristo, do you know if was this tree here before you were inside of it?
He instantly blinks once.
Okay. Did you see it earlier the day that you went missing?
Twice.
But before that at some point?
He also blinks twice. Let's say you've talked a little bit with him. Maybe give me a human roll. Anyone who has human can give me a roll and we'll see
absolutely.
if
Give me one moment.
catch that.
Yeah, I've got 10%. Can I try?
I mean, you can try.
Right.
I got 49 out of 60.
Hell yeah.
Sylvan luckily succeeded 37 under 50.
Crit success at a 10 on 10.
Wow.
Yeah, we, we haven't said that. One of the house rules that we use is like, if you hit on the spot, we call it also a crit.
Okay. We always
All
accept
right,
69 as a crit, so yeah. Everybody's got their own house roll.
That's also a good one. So, Agent Servan and Agent Sly, with your success, you're not sure. He kind of hesitated before the first question about like having seen it on the day he disappeared, and STRATUM with your crit, you get the feeling that it's kind of in the right direction. Like he had probably seen it when something happened to him. Like
Yeah.
maybe he was getting to the point that he was
Sucked in or
subsumed.
or
That's a good word.
Yeah. Were you alone, if you can remember, when you saw it?
Yeah, he blinks twice.
Were you with the other two men that vanished?
Twice again.
Huh. That's a conundrum.
Did those other people take you here, or from your job?
Before you even from your job, he blinks once.
Were they other workers?
No.
No. Okay. Had you seen them before?
He once again does this thing where he hesitates, looks around, and hops from one end to the other.
I'm gonna go get some equipment to help you. Could all of you come help me with the equipment?
Sure.
Don't worry, buddy. We're gonna get you right out of there.
Yeah, I just talk Crystal. We'll be right back and zip up that tent again.
Yep.
Yeah, we will step far away and have a little meeting. He's not going to be able to talk to us until he's out of the tree. I don't think he can get out of the tree. I don't want to touch the tree. But do we know anything about the tree that's holding them? Have we examined the sap? I'm not a botanist, so I don't know what's going on here.
Either of you touch the tree yet?
No.
Well,
I can go around back while you keep talking to him, and I can take some samples, and you can tell me if he reacts up front.
I was thinking, I want you to get as much uses out of this guy as possible, but I could try and use the chainsaw to free his face. I'm not sure how good of an option that is, but it's on the table.
It should probably be a last resort.
Or we could try and chip away at it.
That's what I'll see at the back. We'll see if he reacts to me messing with the tree in an area he can't see. If so, then it means that he's connected to the whole thing, and if not, maybe we have a chance of getting him out.
All right, yeah. I guess we figure out if we can touch the tree first.
Mm-hmm.
That is my main focus of this.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull out my little forceps and go around to the back and pop off a bottom piece of bark.
Yeah, you do that. Like, you make sure to not have him see you while you go around. The others just watch as he doesn't really react. You hear the little as the bark gets ripped apart, and like at first there's no reaction, but with as almost like if he has a high ping or something, his eye just rips open.
Stop.
Yeah, he stops.
Yeah, look at Cristo. Cristo, just now, did you feel pain?
Blinks once.
Okay, guys, we're not gonna do anything more to the tree at this point.
While we're at it, Agent STRATUM, would you give
Am I in
me...
trouble with the forest?
Maybe, who knows? Forests are weird. Give me a search roll, actually, as you get up.
Say failure, it's a 67 over 40.
Mm-hmm. Alright, yeah. You get up after having chipped away some of the bark.
Puts it in a little evidence baggie in his, in his duffel bag.
Now, what I can also say, since Agent STRATUM has biology and Agent Sylvan has botany, you know the tree itself, like the kind of tree it is absolutely native here. It makes sense. It's not like you see this tree and you go, oh, no, this is a Eurasian maple, whatever. No, it's something that's native here in the region, and also something that has been growing here for hundreds of years. So seeing it here absolutely makes sense.
I'm curious, like looking at the bark in the baggie, and even at the spot where I ripped it from, STRATUM ripped it from. Is there any human tissue kind of embedded in that? Like anything that's like some fibrous material on the back of the bark, or blood in the sap, or anything of that kind?
If you stay where you ripped the bark off and just wait a little bit, the sap indeed has a slightly red pinkish color.
Fun.
So are you telling us about the tree has a shared nervous system?
Yeah, I think maybe STRATUM and Sylvan start talking science mumbo jumbo to one another, and then translate that to the two of you once we've reached the consensus.
Like we already
that
know
he is.
that normal trees that don't have people in them do have, the way they network themselves. So then it only makes sense that if this guy is getting absorbed into a tree, that his human nervous system would get wired into this tree. So put the chainsaw away.
Yeah, I want to ask Cristo, so you can feel the whole tree, but what I'm curious about is, can you feel the root systems, and through that feel other trees? I understand it might be difficult to try to connect to that, but could you try that for me?
Agent Simpson's gonna just speak up and be like, oh, you mean the mycelium network? Because this guy's got a 40 in biology.
He doesn't really seem to answer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let him sit on that for like a few minutes before I check in again.
Speaking of a few minutes, what you all haven't done so far is technically check the crime scene.
I'll take my rifle and walk the scene, and I can roll search. I also have survival at 50.
Whatever's higher, actually.
13 under 50 for survival.
Wonderful.
I've got survival too. I guess I'll
Yeah,
head over. I'll drop the chainsaw in front of the guy,
I'll do my own survival. Ooh, failure 63 over 60 for survival for Agent Sylvan.
Oh, God. 66 over 50.
Alright. While Agent Simpson is occupied with getting his can of energy open, because like the little metal thing, it just breaks off without really opening it, and yeah, it's the worst. What are you gonna do? And then you get out a little pocket knife and just try to cut it open. It's the worst. While you do that, however, Agent Sylvan and Agent Sly, both of you start... oh no, wait, Agent Sylvan also failed. Never mind that. So it's only Agent
Yeah.
Sly who really does find something. While searching around, you see that there are prints in the muddy floor. They're just on the brink where the forest begins again. And there are animal prints, which isn't, like, obviously animal prints are in the forest. However, the size is what gets you. You know deer prints and all of that. Those are way bigger. And they don't look like deer tracks. Like deers have these two at the side of each other. However, these are way more elongated and do look almond-shaped almost. And with the success, I would say you recognize those as goats. Just double the size they normally should be.
Well, I try my best to take a picture of that.
Yeah,
With something on the ground for scale. What direction is this goat hooves? Is this between where we are now and where we would be, where this kidnapping would originate at the
Yes.
logging site? It's between
it's
them?
more
Okay.
to the north. Yeah, at the edge of the clearing. And it also looks, for you, it looks like the goat just wandered in, stayed a little at the edge of the clearing. You even see some brushes that have been eaten, and then it just turned around and left.
And there's
Almost the
4
same way it
hooves?
came from. No, it's just one.
Oh, it's just a single hoof print. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming quadrupedal. All right. All right.
Yes.
Never know.
I feel like I might be over that after I got to Guy Tree, but
Well, you could definitely tell by the spoor whether it's a four-legged animal.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I guess I'll go back and report that after I take pictures. I guess I'll call another like round table if
Yeah.
we don't have lights, we don't have any additional resources, we don't have access to a bus or any ambulance. I don't want to be out here during night time. So there's a clock on this. What do we need to do with him?
Well, we try and see if we could get this guy out best we can, and I mean, worst comes to worst, we get rid of him either way.
Get him out how?
I think making the forest more upset with us might not be a good idea right now.
I already put the option on the table.
I think making the forest upset with us might not be a good idea. I mean, it was upset with him and it's put him in a tree, so...
I'm pretty sure trees don't have emotions, aside from that tree.
There's 2 other missing men that I'm gonna bet are in their own little
Orange trees.
piece of vegetation.
Well, he has emotions. That should be enough. I'm gonna go back into the tent to talk to Christos.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he's responded about the network question.
I think the moment you enter, he blinks twice. As if he had all these, let's say, 10 minutes of you guys searching around, and he probably couldn't.
I get out a knife just from my pocket, and I look over to Stratum and say, "Please translate this," and say, "I'm going to cut the bark." And I cut the bark in front of him and see if there's a pain response.
Do you cut like where the face normally is?
No, I'm just cutting anywhere on the tree.
Oh, okay.
Cutting
that's
at the bark and seeing if he can feel it.
like if you take the knife and just cut something in the upper layers of the bark, he doesn't seem to react, but once you get through the bark and actually at the tree itself, he seems to be reacting quite fast, actually.
Okay, I do that until I see a pain reaction and I stop. And I'm like, did that hurt? Yes or no?
Yeah, he blinks once for yes.
They're like, do you understand that shouldn't hurt and you shouldn't be able to feel that normally?
He once again blinks once for yes.
Okay, there's 2 ways we can do this. We got a chainsaw. I can step back from where I imagine your body is and try and cut around. But it seems like you're going to feel it. Or I can make sure you don't feel it. I can see your eye right now. That's 1.8 inches before it hits your brain. And we can make sure you don't feel anything at all. So blink once if you want me to try while you're alive. And blink twice if you do not want it to hurt anymore.
He takes his time answering. He, you'd say, intently stares at you and then very slowly blinks twice.
Okay. I rack around and look back at STRATUM like, you really want to be here for this?
I'm translating for you, so yeah, I think Stratum just nods and probably has an ice pick in his duffel bag and hands that to Sly.
Yeah, I sand check or a firearms check? I'm pretty sure I'm not going to miss.
Or are you shooting him instead of... Okay.
Yeah, I'm just good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna miss. You don't even have to roll anything.
I don't know how much
so-
of his brain is tree, so I'm looking for penetration.
Yo, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
You can just point it just slightly above his eye. It's exposed.
Yeah.
He closes his eye the moment he sees you get out the pistol, and it remains closed until the shot rings.
All right. I'm not adapted to violence, so that's a...
Yeah, that's a sand roll.
I make it, though. Which might say a lot about Sylvester Mayer, but...
Yeah, I'd say if you succeed, Stratum also
Yeah,
succeeded.
Stratum.
Yeah, that's one from... in this case, I would even say helplessness.
Okay.
That's fair. That's valid.
Is it helplessness for the rest of us?
I'd say for everyone, yeah.
Let's go.
No, I
baby.
mean,
We're
even if we
adapted.
don't see it, we definitely hear the
Yeah.
shot. Ooh, failure. 89 over 64 for Sylvan.
You're not there, you don't see it. I'd say that's a 1d4.
1d4? Okay.
Yeah, you still know what's happening and all of that, but... Yeah. Oh, damn.
That's a loss of 1. I'll just simply eat it.
All
Not
right.
losing any, or no?
Yeah, if you're adapted, you don't lose anything.
All right.
Like, you're not directly there, you're not looking at it. You just know what happened.
I wouldn't want to live if I was like that.
Yeah, I eject the round and catch it before it hits the ground and go, I'm going to make sure that whatever put him in there doesn't come back. And then I point to the saw, is your job is to get him out of there. And then I walk to the perimeter, because I feel like I've done my dirty work for the day, so someone else can cut the man tree.
Vroom vroom, baby.
Yeah, that's
Stratum
fair.
is piecing the fuck out for this part. Absolutely not going to witness it.
I think Sylvan, for her part, actually feels that she owes it to him to see, first of all, that Simpson isn't just butchering him, post-mortem, but then also to see what the fuck actually happened. Trees are her thing, so seeing what happened might, even though it might be utterly horrific to witness.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna look at you and just be like, you want a good cross section of his upper thorax or cranial cavity, whatever's left of it?
I'd like you to try to cut out the body as much as possible before you start taking it apart. Cross-section of the tree be damned.
Well, it's gonna be pretty hard for me to get the chainsaw above his head, so I'm gonna just go midsection.
So, I would say,
If it's a 1,000-year-old tree, we're not going to be able to cut down the tree. You can cut down like a wedge around a guy, but you're not going to be able to get through the entire
old
stump.
growth tree would be way too hard.
So, give me a heavy machinery. I know it's only base. It's not for cutting him out, it's just for how good you're cutting him out. You get him out, we just want to see in how many, in a few pieces. Oh, yeah. I think we're...
82 pieces.
Yeah, that's...
Simpson's going to need a shower.
I don't know if it's sap or blood.
Or both.
Yes.
It's both red.
The current rain is helping a lot with keeping it somewhat halfway clean, keeping yourself halfway clean as you rolled an 82 over 10. At the beginning, it goes quite well. You locate around where the feet are and start cutting the wedge in there, and after a while, it's hard labor. It's hard to keep the chainsaw up straight with all the power that you need to use to get him out of there, and you do get it caught in the flesh. And you didn't even expect there to be flesh at this point, and you just saw into him for a bit, like a really deep cut around where his, I would say, 5th or 6th rib is located, and you cut there almost a 4th of the way through his torso before you get the chainsaw to actually stop. What Sylvan and you see, however, because that gives you a little bit of information, is that in this section there's no more skin, and the worst part about this, the chainsaw gets entangled in these roots that have been growing through his whole body, as it seems. Like a little tiny root system has started to form inside and throughout all of his body, connecting him to the tree. And Agent Sylvan, you get the feeling of he was in the tree and the tree was living off of him, using his body as nutrients.
Interesting.
So you also get the confirmation that it probably wouldn't have worked to try to get him out of there, because he is literally fused in the tree. Like, the layers of skin are gone and it's just his flesh being completely fused with the wood itself.
That's a cold fucking comfort, bud. Alright. Can I go ahead and roll my botany, see if I recognize any sort of growth pattern in terms of, knowing that this is an old growth tree, why does it seem like it's grown so rapidly through him?
Yeah, give me a roll. Let's see.
Success,
yeah.
35 under 40 for botany.
Well, first of all, obviously the body shouldn't be there at all.
Right.
What you, however, see is that through, like, looking at the rings, it seems like the tree itself was relatively normal, and the tree rings are dented at the point where he's been put in. So something must have, that's like the feeling you get, something must have put him in from the outside and made the tree, like, condense and then grow back into where it was once before through him. And it seems he was alive through all of that. Like, the first question you asked, like, if he was in pain, you didn't even do anything before that, and he answered yes. And now you see why. Like, all of those little roots were probably growing through his body the whole time.
Yeah. Cool. I'd imagine that's probably a sand roll.
Yeah, I think so too.
Success, 29 under 63.
Damn.
Success.
All
One.
right.
Simpson doesn't give a shit.
Yep. Simpson's there. He's been covered in gore and wood chips, which rain is currently washing away, and he really doesn't give a shit. You lose nothing. While Agent Sylvan, you also lose nothing. You do eventually get the whole man itself out of the tree.
Is there a way to get my Jeep or the vehicles to where he reported that they were missing, or the rough area that they were logging in? Like, do we have to walk there, or can we drive there, is my basic question.
So from the maps, you would have to walk. However, seeing as this is, like, actually a logging company, they probably also used heavy machinery to get all of those trees cut down. You can't just cut them down with a chainsaw. So there must have been some kind of way for those big machines to get there. So a Jeep, probably would also
So
do
some
the
sort
trick.
of logging road I could find.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hoof it quite literally over the goat tracks. I would prefer to come from a different direction. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap the body in that tent. We'll drag that back and put it in the trunk, I guess. And then I focus on the dry area where the tent was, and I'm grateful it's been raining all day that we won't burn the forest down. And then I just start coating that shit in gasoline. Because I don't want to leave the big bleeding tree here for anyone to find. Do you?
No, agreed. This is, as much as it hurts Agent Sylvan's heart, this is the job, so.
Yeah, then I say we just torch this thing, get the body wrapped in the trunk, and then go see where all this started at.
I think during that process, STRATUM will help bring the body to the car, but he will not return past the police line because he really is very disconcerted by the feeling of, like, the forest being upset with him. And he's like, well, you guys can risk your lives. He shakes his head and avoids looking at Christo's body.
It's easy enough. I mean, he's covered with a tent, so sometimes you catch yourself trying to, like, shift your vision away from the body again because it's just there, and you know it is there. But yeah, you manage.
He'll just sit in the front seat, like, white knuckling, while in the distance they're burning the tree.
Yeah, while you're burning the tree, the rain is also escalating. You see, like, it doesn't take long from this somewhat medium rainfall to go to, like, a full rainstorm almost. You see the clouds are getting darker, the lightning, like, jumps through them. And yeah, there's quite a heavy downpour.
Good lightning
Yeah.
strike. We had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it actually helps. Other than getting away from here, that's gonna suck later.
Yeah, so if it's not too muddy, I say we get in the vehicles and try and find that logging road. If we're not going to run out of light. Do not want to be out here after dark. Can't repeat that enough times. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I definitely don't trust any mud roads in the rain out here, but we'll go as far as we can.
Yeah, so is that like a navigate or a drive? Or...
I'd say from your maps, first of all, you get to the location of where the last road on the map itself, and then you can you can give me a drive roll, whoever is driving.
I think we have
You
two
want to go
jeeps.
by
So
whoever's got the highest?
I've got
we'll be
50,
fine.
so...
It is
I
your
guess
Jeep.
so. STRATUM, if you want, I can drive, or I would be driving.
okay, yeah.
Well,
Oh, 100.
50-50 chance.
So absolutely not.
Oh,
both
fuck.
failed.
Yikes.
So
Yeah, that works out absolutely in my
yeah,
favor.
Sylvan failed.
There's that
92
fail.
over
Yeah.
50. My
Oh
God.
boy. You start going down a logging road that you find. And while navigating through this, all of this, the whole area is super muddied up now. It's also, you see the very deep tire tracks of logging equipment. And then the Jeep of Agent Sly. As you try to turn onto the road again, you slide down a little bit with the front of the car and you bonk against the tree. The left light also just goes out as it gets shattered while you bonk against it. And the car is like halfway on the road with its backside, and the other side is like in the tree. And when Agent Sylvan stops the car and you want to go into reverse, you notice that you're completely stuck in the mud.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Easy, easy.
Do we have a tow chain or a winch or anything on this thing?
I'd say when like a little winch will make sense. So you could pull yourself out of it, at least somewhat.
Yeah, I will. Go ahead.
No, I just think we should probably get the car out and get out of here if we're gonna risk getting trapped in the Hellwoods for the night. Maybe come back in morning when it's not pouring rain, but this is a rental, so I would like to get it back from the trees.
All right, so I'll go ahead and I'll get out and kind of brave in the rain, unhook the winch and walk it out to whatever closest tree that looks sufficiently sturdy, and then wrap it around there and hook it up.
Yeah, STRATUM will get out. He'll attempt to like physically push the car as well.
While all of you are trying to get the car out of the little slope that it's on, because the tree actually stopped it. So even though you completely fucked up, the car is not gone. Everyone can actually give me an alertness roll.
Oh, okay. This can only mean good things, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Our alertness is called for in good times.
Oh, Agent Sylvan failed 54 over 50.
Well, I made alertness with 48 under 50. It would have been nice if I rolled that for not wrecking the vehicle, but
STRATUM failed alertness at a 73 over 20.
I got a 63 under 70, so we good. It's a Jeep, so we have the winch on the front. We can get this on site.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm.
While you're doing this, however, Agent Sly and Agent Simpson, you both notice there's movement in the trees. And when you look, you see around 40, maybe 50 feet away from you, a little bit up the slope between the trees, you just see a very big goat's head. And it's just staring down. It's not really moving too much. Just the head is like getting tilted. It's looking at you. You see the almost dreaded up, matted up hair on its face. And it seems to be just looking.
well, I tell someone else they're going to have to drive and fast, and then I get my rifle out and don't take my eyes off that thing. I'm not going to, like, draw down or start shooting, but I'm not out here with a winch in my hand for certain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you do that. I'm gonna try my best to get this fucking thing unstuck.
Yeah. STRATUM as well.
So, Agent Simpson, give me a drive roll to help with getting that unstuck.
Oh, that's a critical success. To
Nice.
counteract the critical failure from earlier. 33 under 60.
Hell yeah, wonderful. Yeah,
I
you...
think I take a point of helplessness for how easily he did that. Yeah.
After, like, spotting this thing, because you also spotted it, Simpson, you're really motivated to get this car back on the road. So, yeah, after just, let's say, a minute, the cars are back and good to go.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Okay, thank God.
All right.
I'm getting in the driver's seat. Actually, wait, Jan, do you have a drive score?
I sure do.
Okay, sick. You're getting in the driver's seat. Never mind.
Yeah. I failed the first time, but hey, second time's a charm, right?
Simpson can definitely take over. He's doing better than me.
Success. 19 under 50 for the
I've
drive.
got rifle in one hand and camera just snapping
Click, 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 click,
wildly
click.
at this thing in the woods while it's
And
off to
this
the
giant
side.
goat.
Yeah.
Have I noticed the goat at this point, or am I just like, oh, why is everybody in a hurry?
I was glassing it with a telescopic lens. I think probably everybody
Okay.
noticed me looking
Yep.
at the goat.
So I'm not gonna have Agent Simpson roll drive again. That crit success is enough to get you all going. Are you going to go deeper, or do you want to turn around?
Not my vote, for certain, yeah.
I think it's a good point to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Drive over the goat? Can we hit the goat with the car?
Goats in the woods.
If
we
you
do
want to
not
go
want to drive.
off-road,
No.
yeah, if you want to go off-road up the hill to try and get to it, yeah, sure.
Chasing a goat up a mountain sounds like a great idea.
Like, how big is the goat, now that I'm looking at it? Like,
So, I'd say a normal goat goes around, I'd say, until the waist.
They're small, yeah.
Yeah, they're
yeah,
really small.
knee, thigh, waist.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
Well, this is out of character, but those can get pretty big. A ram goat can get upwards of 400 pounds, depending on the variety.
That's true.
yeah, but is it
that's
like a
true.
great horn ram, or is it, like, taller than the car? Like, that's...
Oh, no, it's not that tall.
Okay.
It would go around, I'd say, chest height with its head, not counting the horns.
So a little unsettling.
Yep. And the whole body is proportioned to fit that height.
I'm pretty sure he's not in season, so we should get out of here.
Yeah, but what they too know, like STRATUM 7, there are a lot of animals native to the Appalachian mountain range. Goats are not one of them, especially not at that size. And it looks quite feral with how matted his whole fur is.
STRATUM just like leans over and just presses the lock door button. It won't
Click.
do anything. Just makes him feel good.
You turn around on the narrow street. It works out on the narrow pathway, more likely. It works out and you drive back. Are you still keeping eyes on the goat after you've turned?
Yes.
Okay.
As much as I can while keeping eyes on the road.
Yeah, you look into like the little back mirror, because when you turn and slowly drive back, you see the goat follows, and then after you don't even
No.
know from where it came. Like the goat just follows down the slope to stand on the road, but then out of literally nowhere, just there's a tree, and from the left side a stag emerges, but on the right side you don't see the rest of the body. You have no idea where it came from. And the stag just emerges. You see really big like horns and a really quite extraordinary pattern. That thing's bigger than all of you, and it just emerges from behind the tree out of literally nowhere.
Is it still
to stand
behind us or
slightly,
in front of
yeah,
us?
Yeah, behind.
Okay.
To stand slightly like behind the goat, as if it was keeping the goat in check. And they just stand on the road, and they don't really follow once you try to leave.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Promising.
Maybe we rest for the night and head out early tomorrow in daylight.
Is Victor Smith home? The guy who runs the illegal logging operation? I doubt he's living in the woods, right? Like, that doesn't seem like a hands-on sort of job.
The address you have for him is not in the woods. It's at the highway in Bedford. The highway is 76. He's literally just staying at a hotel. That's his business address.
Oh, so it's a fancy operation. Okay, so...
At least for him.
yeah. I think we should probably go press him. If you're doing crimes, you want to make sure nobody's catching you doing crimes. So while we have a general area on the map from the tree witness, I bet he knew exactly where they were operating when they went. And did he report them missing? Or were they reported missing by family?
They were reported missing after the first one was found from the other workers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't want to necessarily sit and wait in the hotel room. I'd like to put the screws to him if we could. But
Yeah, it's around 4 p.m. at this point, so yeah, you have...
Also, I can't do anything with a microscope and like bark or anything like that, so there might be other things to do.
Yeah, if you want to, there are a few options here. You could obviously go pressure Smith. You have an address for where at least one of the workers currently lives, which is also in the forest, but still alongside a normal, somewhat drivable road. And those are like 2 options. So you could talk with the workers, you could talk with Smith, or maybe do a little run into town and talk with the police. Could also be an option. Or the witness.
Well, I'm not the cell leader. I'm going to need orders from the boss man.
I say we talk to that witness first and see who else they might have told. We need this information to not get out. Reassure them about what they saw, you know?
Is that a 4-person job, or should we split?
I think a two people should be enough. We should split. I'll say we should probably talk to the 2 other workers in a list of priorities here.
Looks at Salo, he's like,
We speak Spanish, so great. Into the forest.
Yeah, that'll be your job.
Yeah, it's basically while driving out of the forest, you just take another turn while Sly and Simpson take a left turn.
Are either of you armed?
Yeah, I have a
Yes,
pistol.
I'm armed. I have a 1911.
Okay. Well, good luck.